I have 5 minutes to speak to you about one of the most vast and expansive topics of our Christian faith. I'm here to speak about prayer. And, hundreds, if not thousands of books have been written about prayer. Certainly thousands of sermons have been spoken over the years on prayer. And yet it is an area we struggle so much with. Even in our last survey we sent out to the church, there were some people there who said they didn't really see the point of prayer and certainly of a prayer meeting. And I personally find that a challenge. And so that's where I want to talk to you from. I recently had a conversation with somebody who had passed their driving test, and they said they prayed and they passed. And yet the person behind them had also passed their driving test, but did they pray? This happens every day, doesn't it? People succeed or fail, thrive or barely survive sometimes. Some pray, some don't. So it could lead us to the question of what is that point of prayer? I have been through many things in my life where I've really struggled, and there's been times when I thought, God, where are you in this? And I know that when I have gone through something, for instance, like a driving test, and I've got through it, and I think about somebody going through something like that without God, I think I know where I'd rather be. I want God in my conversation. I want to invite God into what I'm doing. I need his help and support. I want him involved in that. I want his presence, whichever way it goes. And those times in my life where I look back and I see actually there's been them struggles and maybe even appeared to be unanswered prayer, I've seen God working in that. And it's only afterwards that we do see that. But I want God in it. And I want to be talking to him. I want to be sharing all of those struggles with him. He's a counsellor, and he can be that sounding board for our emotions, for our pain, for our frustrations. And prayer together is so powerful. It's biblical. It's the apostles, the disciples meeting together on Pentecost, and they're meeting together and praying, and the Holy Spirit descended, and they broke out. The church broke out into the world. You read in Acts chapter 4, then 2 chapters later, they're feeling oppressed, and they're being oppressed, and they meet to pray, and the Holy Spirit falls, and they go out in boldness. Now, if we took that forward into more recent history, and we see the Great Awakening, that prayer meeting, actually where John and Charles Wesley were at, and it was a prayer meeting, and it was early hours of New Year's Day, and they felt the Holy Spirit there on that day. It says that was when their hearts felt strangely warmed, and the Great Awakening was born out of this gathering of men and joining together to pray. And we think about the Hebridean revival, 2 old ladies meeting together, just deciding to pray together. But that's not where it ended. That was a snowball effect. As their pastor found out that that's what they were doing, they called together the elders. They joined together to pray, and out of that, the Hebridean revival was born. I think of the young Mr. Evans at the beginning of the Welsh revival, a youth prayer meeting, and what was born out of that. Gathering together to pray is powerful, and it changes things. Inviting God into every part of our life, it is that crutch, and that's okay. It is the strength. It is, and it can be supernaturally supernatural intervention into what we're doing as well. And we want that. I want that. I hope you want that too. So with that in mind, just want you to think on this one question. In the last year, what has been your most heartfelt prayer.